CFR Network, CFR News. Good day, good night, all. Welcome back. We're in at the lab, and I got the sibling with me across the pond from them big bad Watts. Shaun Dam, welcome to the broadcast, sibling. What do you do?
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, man. You're most welcome. I gave you a hella minor introduction. Please do elaborate on that a little bit more, because some of the siblings then are going to be looking, thinking, where are we going with this build, mate?
Okay, I got you. I am Shaun Dam. If anybody recognizes me, you probably recognize me from maybe some Pornhub ads or something like that. I produce adult content. I've been doing that since probably about 2007.
Right, see, I
So
didn't know it's that long.
yeah, since about 2007. I've been in the game producing my own content. So and it's even better than before now with all these new apps and OnlyFans and loyal fans and everything is like it's a different game, 100% different game.
Total different game now to what it was back in, as you say, in 07. And then rewinding it a little bit before then, it was a hella different game. So
Oh yeah. Hey, back then I was just watching, but that's when they used to have the big VHS camera on their shoulder like this.
Yep.
Just a big VHS on the shoulder to kind of with the tape pop out the side.
This is it.
Yeah.
Old school, man. VHS styling, man. Them feature covers and all them things there. Yeah, man. The game done changed into this digital era, and you have been able to keep up and maintain with this new wave of consuming and delivering content, whereas some people have kind of said, I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna create a website. And you see some of those people, not, you don't necessarily see them anymore, or they make these comebacks and stuff. So it's interesting that you saw what let's stay there actually. What made you embrace, I guess, this new wave of technology and new ways of doing things versus what you had done historically?
Yeah, so when it comes to like technology, let me tell you how I got into it.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, let's go back.
I got into it like everybody, being something that you liked and you wanted to do. But what I did when I got into it, I try to find a way, to get there. And my first thing was to contact, companies and be like, hey, I'm this dude that wants to be in porn. Hey, I'm this dude that wants to. And then, it's all kinds of, it's a bunch of no's and a bunch of maybe if. So I was like, you know what, forget it. It looks like to me just some dudes holding cameras. So I said, I'm just going to go to school and learn how to build websites, learn how to film, learn how to engineer audio and everything that I could possibly need to know. So that's what I did. And when I did that, I was able to do my own stuff. So speaking about technology, I'm a real a person that's into technology. So I'm ahead of the game.
Yes.
The next thing that's coming, I'm shooting VR 180 3D VR. I've been doing that for about 4 years already. And it's about to start getting real popular. So as for technology, like I said, I'm ahead of the game. I'm always studying and looking for the next best thing, regardless, outside of the industry. Like, what's the next camera? Is using an iPhone better than using my Sony cameras? So like stuff like that. I already made my decision before it even hits the ground. I'm just, just a lot of research, a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on, especially when it comes to technology.
See, that's good that you're even touching on that, because, pardon self, people generally only see that finished product. They just they got their towel or their tissue in their hand, you know what I mean? And they're just seeing the finished product. They ain't necessarily thinking what was going on behind the scenes. How did he actually get that angle? What camera refresh rate, frame rate, and now you're talking about the virtual technology. I mean, staying on that point, that's grown tremendously. I mean, I don't necessarily partake in the virtual side, but I've seen the leaps and bounds and how the augmented reality mixed with the virtual reality elements. You can blend and
Wow.
mold those into so much different things. And in this genre that we're talking about now, like what are some of the why you if you can try and paint a vivid picture of some of the works that you're doing.
Some of the VR stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would tell you how first. So me and my friend, we've been going back and forth probably longer than 4 years before the pandemic, trying to come up with a good VR type video. So first it was 360. I had actually have a couple out on clips for sale. That was from back then.
Mm,
And but you have to have like an Oculus headset. You don't have to have that, but that's the best
best
experience.
way. Yes.
Some kind of headset. There's boxes where you could put your phone in them. That's cool too. But at one point I had kind of slowed up and my friend came, he's like, look, you gotta see this. So he brought his Oculus on. I put it on, and then this is what it feels like. He was like, it was there's this one website where cam girls can shoot with their VR camera. So
Okay.
it's like, so it's not 360, it's 180 3D. So 180 meaning whatever I could see right
Yes.
here,
Yeah.
whatever I see here, that's everything you see. So that's what the camera shows. So when I put the headset on and I'm moving my head like this, it's like I'm sitting in this room
Shit.
or whatever room it is, the way they set it up. So certain ways you could film. But what I saw was a girl on cam and I had it on. And she walked all the way up to me right here. Let me see how you see that close.
Yeah.
And I swear I felt her breath blowing on me. The visual was so good. And then I was like, bro, he was like, yeah, this is it. And that was about maybe 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago and he's like, it's back. He was like, yep. I was like, what kind of camera I need immediately? I was like, Amazon. I was like, and like anybody that's interested in thinking of making that leap, like
Mm.
do it because it's like it's very good. It's very profitable. It's something that's new. It's something that's about to
Yeah.
start. It's about and as soon as people start buying more and more headsets, Oculus headsets, a lot of people have them
Yeah.
because
The price will start to
they
go
keep.
down the more available they'll be.
Yep. And there's every time you go to the store to buy them, they're sold out. During holiday season, I know.
Mm.
So with that being said, there's people buying them.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a hefty tag, obviously, as you say, but the disposable incomes, they're dangling these carrots in front of us to utilize this technology. So, get it how you live, you know what I mean?
You gotta hey, but and speaking about technology, there's so many ways you can make money. If I was homeless on the street, I wouldn't even be homeless on the street if I
Of
had an
course
iPhone.
not. Come
If I
on.
had an iPhone, in San Francisco, it's people um doing Uber, but they're renting the street bikes and delivering the food. They're not even using their own vehicle, so they're using the city bike to do it. And I'm like,
Excellent.
wow. I was like, all you need is a phone. That's it.
Yes.
That's, you can get hired. You can walk people's dog. I got a friend that babysits and walk people's dogs, making like $3,000 a month. I was like, what? All you do is sit around with random dogs and
But
just.
but just think about it. It's using this here, and then with the technology, the interface, and also having that gumption to do it. Because I've spoken many times, and even last, I was doing a live stream on Saturday, and we was just talking about, being on your face, as we would say over here, broke, destitute. What would you do? Do you mug old ladies or do all kind of stupid stuff? Or do you go pick up rubbish or cans or utilize, as you say, the technology and rent a bike and go and deliver food and actually earn some legitimate money? You got come on, you gotta commend someone who is homeless, who has the drive and the determination, not to do the quote unquote easy thing, but to actually do the
Right.
thing.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's true though. But I'll say like, especially like TikTok, like you could do anything as long as you're consistent in
Mhm.
doing it, and then you start making money. It's crazy. I watch the craziest stuff that don't even make no sense. Like, I seriously, have you ever saw these puppets and they like just watch videos and talk shit about them?
Nah, I've
It's just yeah, it's just like four puppets, and they like comedian puppets or something. So it'll be a crazy ass video real quick, and then they'll cut to them, and they'll just all make crazy comments about it. And I swear, I just be
Yeah,
dying
yeah,
every
yeah,
time.
yeah. There's a niche for everybody, as you say, there is a niche for everybody. And if you can find that niche and have that consistency, there is a potential revenue stream there for you, most definitely. Um, Going back to the VR thing, the
Yeah.
actual production value, not value, I guess, what goes in, what additional, so let's say for instance, if it would doing a normal standard scene would take you setup wise, blah blah blah, to actually film the scene as well in its entirety 3 hours. Now we're moving into VR. What kind of time frame are we looking to actually create said content?
If we comparing 3 hours for a regular shoot to a VR shoot, it really kind of depends on what you're shooting.
Okay.
If it's just straight to the point, like real quick, and
Mhm.
everything's already set up, then it doesn't take that long. Because usually stuff is like POV. So
Ah.
there's a rig. I got a rig that's set up, and it's like you got your camera, you got your recording, the microphone device, I guess you call it. It's
Mhm.
called ears. So what I record on is a box with two like looks like human ears on the side.
Okay.
So they use it for a lot of AMSR, I think it is, and for the VR when you use stuff like that, and if people wear headphones, so if the girl was to shift over this way and whisper in your ear, when you have your headphones on and you're watching it, then you're visually seeing her move over and come this way, and now you're listening to it in just one ear.
Ah.
So it's a
Yes.
so it's like wow, like she just whispered in this ear. That's really the good stuff right there. So once you got that, then you need your couple of things on the rig. This is all on a tripod on a strong stand with sandbags. You need some lighting, as well as lighting in the room.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, something to record the sound that's connected. And what else I got on there? Some lights, a bunch of strong, like adjustable arms, so you can move
Yes.
stuff. Then, of course, the camera. The camera that I'm using is a camera that was discontinued that I ended up picking up because the price range on the VR cameras, some new stuff is coming out, like Canon's coming out with one. That's why I say it now is going to be in everybody's hands. It's like the one that I bought, it was discontinued, but they were still selling it, still worked.
Was it
So
the
I ended
Canon
up
Pixel, that Canon Pixel 5 thing, or whatever it was?
nah, the camera is totally different. I don't know if you
Okay.
can look it up. It's called excuse me. The cameras that shoot 180 VR, they have two lenses, like
Ah,
eyes.
seen.
If you ever something like that. So the camera is it here? No, it's not. The camera I have is it's like a it's on a stick kind of, and then it has two things that pop out. So if I was to put it in front of my
Ah,
face, if I was to put it in front of my face, one will go over this eye and this eye. So that's how this one records. Some of them are just like square boxes. Canon has one. It's really pricey. It's like about for the whole setup, you'll probably spend like $8,000.
one.
But the thing is, if you were to spend $8,000 on that, I guarantee you make your money back in 2-3 months if you
Yep.
use it. You make your money back, and if you keep on what you're doing, you'll continue to make that amount of money.
You get your return on investment within 3 months, spending eight. Wow. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I got to open up some kind of consulting business, right?
You heard me? Well, look, you're clearly, stomping and creating the wave on this year. I'm pretty sure if you're not already, you're gonna get people emailing and in the DM saying, "Yo, listen, I need, you're doing this year. I need some advice, or can you do this for me?" What's that saying? Build it and they will come.
Nah, the saying is the game is to be sold, not told. That's the saying. So yeah, they can ask all them questions, but I gotta see a little something,
Indeed, indeed. In this Gregorian year of 2024, yes, of course, monetization is at the top list of most people, without a doubt. So
Hey, one thing about that, taking it back to that not to cut you off, but they build it and they will come. So when I went to college, that was one of the things that I was, what is that? I think a online economic class, and she said that's not the case. That's not true. And then she took a whole like 3 weeks and broke it down. So if you build it, they won't. It doesn't mean they're gonna come.
Oh, of course. It's a very simplistic. There's a lot more. There's a lot more that goes into it. Marketing,
Right, right.
advertisement, foot flow. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now wait a minute. Now if it's a strip club, then maybe.
Location, location, location.
If it's a strip club, yeah, it don't even matter. You build it, just let somebody know it's over there. It could be in a back alley. They gonna come.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. So rewinding back then. So you saw your way into this industry via the technology, and you diligently put in the work to actually be able to professionally record, etc., etc. So how much time did you invest in the back office element of it, the record, filming, recording, editing, producing that element before you actually dipped your toe or another part of your anatomy into the industry?
Like in the beginning, it wasn't nothing. I just shoot it and put it on a computer, watermark it, and that was it. It wasn't too much time in the bag. And then because it was just like I was uploading stuff to like I didn't have to in the beginning I had my own website. I was just using like one of the clip store sites.
Okay.
So that's where so as soon as I got my hands on the footage, I did my research. I had model releases, I had IDs, everything I needed. And but the next part was I needed to find how to make money with it. But I had it. So of course I was building a website because I was at school to build websites. And it was a little bit more than just building your own website. And I finally got to it, but you had to like get the billing and all like
Yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
the software.
yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up getting it done and then changing it throughout the way. After I built my own, I was like, yeah, it's a lot of companies out there. So I started using them. But the clip sites is where I first started generating the money. It was clip sites. It was one. It was just clips or sale. It was just that one. And then I had my website going on.
Hmm.
So it made it things more interesting for me. Like I said, the games to be sold, not told. I was like, I knew that I could make money doing this because I saw like, the profits and doing it
Yes.
when it wasn't on the internet. That's why most people got on the internet,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
And finding the female talent, how did you go about doing that? And moving forward into today, how does that look like?
well, so back then, like I always tell people, like the same way that your interactions with females are right now is going to be the same way they are when you get into the industry.
I knew you
It's
was gonna
not going
say.
to change. It's not going to change. So if you can get your phone right now and dial through it and call somebody up and they come through and give you some pussy, then okay. But if everybody on your phone want to charge you for pussy, then okay. So it's gonna be the same way in this game. Just
Hmm.
because you say, okay, now I'm a content creator or a porn star, I want to collaborate with you, and it's a woman's choice. Like whatever your co-partner is, they're the ones who are gonna make
Mm,
that decision. You're not entitled to anything.
of
But that
course.
being said, I was already. The reason why I was trying to get into it because a lot of the chicks that I was fucking with told me, "Hey, you should be a porn star." It never crossed my mind. So it was them that told me. And I was like, all right, well, after a while, I started saying, well, how can I do that? So if the reason how I got them, I already had them,
Hmm. Hmm. So
so
this ain't new to you. This ain't new to you. None of these things new to you. You didn't. You end up some lonely dude at college, not getting nothing, and thought, oh, this is my
nah,
thing. I could go and do.
that's a whole different thing. You got to have game. You got to be like, I don't know how you get that part. You got to find one of them dating coach like Hitch. But yeah, I ain't that guy, but
For
got
shiggity.
definitely you got to have some kind of like charm or some kind of look for your just same thing. And it's like in the regular industry,
Of
like
course.
just because, yeah, it ain't gonna be like no, it's still a chick's gonna be like they're making it's like if they're doing a collaboration, it's pretty like them fucking someone. Okay, it's fine if someone's in the industry, but it's gonna have
Yeah,
to be somebody that they would want to have sex with
of
because they ain't getting
course.
paid. They're making
Yes.
money off of it, but that's just they get to make their decision. Same with the guys. It's the same thing. For same with everybody. And it
Mhm.
just don't go one way. It goes both ways, and there's
As
yeah.
it
So
should, as it should. I mean, you've never been signed. You do, or have you been signed to like a big, publisher, I guess, but how you would call them, like your Braziers and all them kind of.
yeah, I've done some work for some big companies. Not signed to them, but I've done like some work for them.
What's that experience like versus doing your own thing?
Oh, it's a way different experience. So you talk about full movie set.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You got director, you got assistant director, you got PAs, you got makeup, you got wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
you got
Grip.
lunches, and a full day of work. It's like we filming ads, we filming the normal,
Covers.
filming the lines. You got lines. It's a whole different thing. It's a big production at that
Mm-hmm.
time at that
Mm-hmm.
point.
Mm-hmm. Now,
You know.
talent-wise, again, this is a question that I always have to ask with every guest. What happens when the talents isn't to your par, or does that ever happen?
You say it's for a paid, like it's a shoot where you're gonna get paid, or is
Yeah,
it
cool. No, no,
a
paid.
paid
This is
shoot?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it just depends on how much to my part. It's not. I mean, I'm just pretty cool with everybody. I don't really have like and it really just depends on each person. You
Yes.
know,
Like them.
any has the right. It'll be like, nah, I don't want to work with that person, even if I'm getting paid. And then some people might be like, I wouldn't collab with you, but if you want to book me for a scene, you could just pay my rate and I will do it. And then sometimes that might happen if there's a say if there's a new talent
Mhm.
that a person might want to work with, but they're brand new, so you don't know how they're going to turn out working. But so you could say, okay, well, if you pay my rate, we'll go ahead and I'll work with you. And then after that, they might be, oh, that was a good scene. We can collab if you want another time. So
Yes.
and it's like, okay, so if I collab with everybody, and it's like I just shot with this chick. She wanted to collab. She was starting out, and she couldn't take it. She just laid there, and it was
Oh.
just bad boring. Then what happens on I have this footage that I can't use, so I lose time, and I mean, I lose strokes.
Yeah.
Them strokes. I lose a lot of strokes. I ain't got to be strokes left. I lose strokes and shit. And I mean, I know I reproduce semen, but shit, that
It's
shit
a
ain't free.
waste. Listen,
Wasted,
in your
wasted.
game, sibling, exactly. It's like you're putting in all this work. Money, man. This is money. You know what I mean? This is time. This is effort. This is earthing. And you're not performing, quote unquote. This is what you're trying to do. Like maybe you should have, you know,
Right,
tried
right.
it a little couple times before and then made sure that yeah, actually no, this is the right thing. I can do it. I've watched it back. It looks similar to what I've may have. Yeah.
Yeah. All you got to do nowadays. See, back then back then when I first started too, it was like, I had I was DJing at a strip club. And so I was making some money, but I didn't have enough money to buy a good camera. So I remember the first time I had met this guy online. So he was buying videos from me. So he had a website, and he lived in Canada, and he was buying footage from me. It was like a 60-minute tape. He'll give me $2,000. And
Shit.
back then that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a couple of chicks, and he would buy one from me like every other week. No, first it started out once a month, and then he went to two a month. So at this time, I was like, I
Was
was
this
like,
for,
but the
do you think was this for personal consumption or was he
no,
pumping?
he had a website. I
Okay.
don't the site's not up anymore. Like me, we still good friends. I talk to him on Facebook every now and then. I haven't talked
Hmm.
to him in a while actually. But yeah, he was like he came out to Vegas once and I met him face to face. We hung out. But yeah, like he made a lot of my stuff popular back then because I was on all his websites and I was real popular.
Mm.
So he was like, and that's when I lived in like LA. Then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move to Vegas. So I get a fresh start. And then yeah, he was getting 2 videos a month for me. Things eventually slowed down because like we talked about technology, he
Yes.
wasn't that he wasn't that guy.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
wasn't that guy. And the way he had his stuff set up, in order for him to transfer everything and do the whole lot, it would have been hell for him because
Mm.
it wasn't that organized and it wasn't the way he could do a easy transfer. So I remember organization and the technology. It kind of like he was like I had to be done with it, and I was like, you have all this content with paperwork. I almost bought all this content from him, but I was like, that sounds like a lot of work for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and go for
Yeah.
it with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one way how I got in. I was making money, um, just selling my videos and stuff. So
So we've got some of the early videos that you did, pardon self, are some of the performers still working to this day that you shot with, or pretty much a lot of the women were just for your scenes only, have never necessarily appeared back
yeah,
on?
like a lot of that stuff. Like the one chick I used to shoot with, a couple of them. Yeah, it was like, all right, I'll do it. You know, so I was like, all right, cool.
And are you still in contact with any of these earliest
Yes,
women?
actually, one just text me, like, yeah, right before, like right during this message. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
On a reminiscing on old vibes flex, or
Nah,
just a
we just friends, cool
chopping
friends,
it
and
off? That's cool.
yeah, and then she found out that she was out here and then out here in Vegas, so we started, hanging
Okay.
out. She just normal now. She got a normal job. She's like, I don't do
Yeah.
none of that. I was like.
Ain't no freak like that no more, man.
Yeah, yeah. I saw,
Mm, mm, okay. Hey, so Vegas taxes are cheaper than California, right?
no state tax.
Or is it no state tax?
Yeah. Where's my phone at? My other phone.
Yeah,
Oh,
easy. So times are definitely flying by, man. Times are definitely flying by. You've got connections still with some of the women you came up in the game with, which is excellence. How do you see the game now in 2024?
mm-hmm. That's how I see it now. It's
Yeah, yeah.
changed. Yeah, even in my own, I do a lot better. As like before, I used to think to produce more and more and more and more and more. So I was doing that for a minute, and I was like, nah. It's like let's don't do the quantity. Let's do the quality.
Quality,
So
yeah.
then I was like, so yeah. So right now I'm in a transaction to do less content, do the VR and the regular, do less, and then do I start working more on like social media stuff. So I can just do normal funny shit, like to do like stuff.
Ah.
I know, and then I find out I end up getting more people to join and sign up because they'll go on one of my fan sites on my loyal fans and they'll message me like, oh, I saw your TikTok. I was like, oh.
Cross
I was like,
fertilization. I like it.
it's like, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't see you're on my porn site, and it's like you're on my porn page, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't see my TikTok. Like it's like it switched the whole thing around. It's like if I was
Yes.
on TikTok, they'd be like, I saw your porn, but they go to my porn site and be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I saw your TikTok. It was funny.
Damn. Yeah, man. And that's cool, man, because another reason why I like to have these conversations as well is because some strange folk out here just think, especially on the women's side. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's so much on the male side, but they just see you as just like, a as objects in it, you know, as performers. They don't necessarily think that you've got feelings, you've got family and friends, and you've got a life outside of doing what you do on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I got a couple friends. I got a little bit of feelings.
You
I got
know
some
what I mean?
feelings,
A little
some stuff.
song,
But that has nothing to do with porn. Like that has like stuff to do with other stuff. But I got
indeed.
some feeling, some
Hmm.
left. I'm very kind to others. So, you know, I'm not an angry person.
Well, at your age, sibling, I wouldn't expect you would be.
I could be.
Oh,
Don't get it twisted.
oh, listen,
But I don't choose to be. It
yeah.
takes out too much energy.
This is it, man. It's options, isn't it, man? It's options, as you say. There's always another option, but you know, it's about energy and it's about is it worth it? It's about progressing. It's about a load of different things, man.
Yes.
So have you gotten to work with who were some of the entertainers pre being in the industry that you saw and you'd like, yeah, that's someone I would definitely like to work with?
Sarah J. I was such a fan. I was like, oh shit. And I was like, nah, for real. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Did,
I was like, wow.
mm, and
Yeah, I was
did
like, oh, wow.
and did it meet or exceed expectations?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I have ended up shooting a bunch of scenes with her. And then at one point she was my manager. Like, so yeah, it did. It did real good. I learned a lot,
Excellent.
even on that side right there.
Mm. She's a very intelligent woman, man. Very intelligent woman. Gone through a lot of
Mhm.
things, man.
Yeah, most
Switching
definitely.
things up, most definitely. So Sarah J, any more on the bucket list?
Um, a lot of them that they had already retired. Like Ice
Shit.
LaFox. Ice
Oh,
LaFox. That was the one right there. Ice LaFox.
Ice love fuck with the braces, sibling.
That one right there. And Jordan in the Sky.
Jordan, I recognize the name, but I can't
The
picture the.
tall, tall. She was ebony, tall,
Oh, sibling.
arch. She had an arch in her back, even when she was standing up. I was like, wow, yeah.
You see me, tall women just don't do it for me, man. I like short women, man.
Short ones
Short.
too.
Yeah,
I
man.
take them short. I take them
Yeah.
tall. I take them short.
You ain't discriminating, right?
I take a medium. Yeah. Nah. You
For
know.
shiggity.
It's
Yeah,
just different tactics.
of
For the short ones,
course.
turn them into a ball, toss them all around. For the tall one, you got long
Uh-huh.
legs. You got to start good. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know them ones. I know those ones, most definitely. Hey, but hey, sibling, as we wind this year down, and I forgot to mention, thanks very much for carving out some time in your busy schedule. Um, have you had fun today?
Oh yeah, for sure. We got to do part two because I know you got a lot more.
Yo, you don't know the thing, man.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
scratched the surface, man. We just scratched the surface. All right. Um, okay, let me throw this at you. And this doesn't necessarily, because I normally go deeper in this, so for this question to be more relevant, but I'll still do it because I want to hear what your response is. Please tell us who you are, sibling, but don't tell us your name.
Wow. I am a simple man that loves to have a shot of tequila every now and then. Um, I care about the people around me, and I like to turn anything into money. The industry that I am in is an entertainment business to me. Sometimes I have clothes on, sometimes I have clothes off. But I'm multi-talented. I can also do music, which I do music. I guess we'll talk about that on part two. But other than that, I think that's about it about me.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Sibling, I've thoroughly enjoyed the build. Throw out all the social medias, websites, all that there, and I will make sure I put them below in the description.
I'll make it real easy. Just Google Shaun Dam, SHAUNDAM. Just Google that.
Short and simple. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Trustfully, you've enjoyed the build and it has been edutaining. We out.